Well, let's start with unfortunate to lose a guy in that mini playoff. What happened?
He just got dinged up a little bit, got hit hard in the last play when he's blocking, kind of got a helmet under his chin. So unfortunately, we won't have Carson this week, but we got a good young group of running backs. So we got a sophomore, junior, and freshman that are going to play for us, and we got another senior who hasn't got a chance to play much this year, but he's there ready to go, and we're probably going to use Wesley a little bit more than we have all year. It's playoffs, you got to pull out all stops and see what we can do.
What can you pull from Puyallup last year to apply to this year, or anything?
Last year I think we had the right game plan going in, slow the game down. We don't want to get into a long drawn out game. We're going to kind of slow it down, take our time, be meticulous with it, and limit possessions. Our goal is to make this a 6 or 7 possession game, very similar to what ended up happening with Wenatchee, where it ended up being a long drawn out game where we had 6 possessions and they ended up with 7 because they got the ball at the end. But that's kind of what we're looking for is not as many possessions. We want to really shrink the game down and score efficiently and take care of the football. Last year we were in the game. It was really close. Unfortunately, we had a big touchdown play called back, which would have made it a much different game. It very easily could have been a 17-10 halftime. We fumble a kick return, and then they turn around and score, and that kind of made it tough. It's hard to come back against teams like that, and we just have to be smart, efficient, and no negative plays.
Is it beneficial to have some guys come back from that squad last year that were there that can talk to these younger guys and say, okay, this is what to expect, this is what it's like?
Mm-hmm. No, I think it is. We got guys that played last year. They understand what's coming. They understand what we're getting into. Last year, in my opinion, we played the second best team in the state. Their only 2 losses were to Union by 7. Union won the state title by like 30-something. So they were a really good football team, and they were better than us. We made it competitive early, but again, fell apart late. This year, we're a better football team than we were last year, we feel, and we just have to make sure that we take the same idea and then don't make the mistakes. And then, if we get a couple bounces our way, we're right there in it.
So, Camas, tough football team. Mm-hmm. Tell me about the Papermakers.
Really well coached, big kids. All their linebackers weigh over 190 pounds. All their offensive linemen are over 260. Their smallest D lineman is like 5'10", 250. Everyone else is about 260 or bigger, and they've got some really talented kids. They've got some kids who can do some things. They got a couple kids out right now. They got the returning starting quarterback got hurt, but he was a junior. Now they got the senior kid who's been in the program. They lost an offensive lineman who's committed to USC, but they have another senior. They have all senior line. If you look at them, they're really old. Last year, their record is deceiving. They lost 5 games by a total of 20 points, and all 5 losses were to state playoff teams. And they lost close games. They were right there, and they just, as a young group, couldn't close out close games. This year, they've been able to close out those kind of games. They're senior heavy. They have 30 seniors in their program. They have a ton of kids, have 97 kids, 10 through 12. They're well coached. They're perennial power. Camas is always right there in the mix, and they do a lot of good things, and we just have to take care of our business and focus on us, and our young kids get to go out and battle.
Challenge of, one thing to go to Puyallup like you did last year.
Mm-hmm.
You're almost going out of state, for God's sakes. That's a long trip. How do you adjust for that, or do you?
Fortunately for us, we've been blessed. We're being taken care of a little bit. We're going down Friday. We'll be leaving here tomorrow morning, or Friday morning, and traveling over, staying the night in Washougal, right outside of Camas. And then, that way we're just a hop, skip, and a jump away. We need our kids to, be on their best behavior and treat this like a trip, and not just go out down to mess around in the hotel. So we got to be smart about that, get to bed, get our rest, and we're being blessed. We have a great opportunity to rest and give our best effort on Saturday.
So do you do any walkthroughs? Do you do anything?
We're stopping in Goldendale on the way down.
Okay.
We're going to stop there, have a practice at the halfway mark to break up that 6-hour bus ride, and you know, we'll eat lunch in Goldendale right after practice, and then we'll hit the road again. Get down to the hotel, get checked in, and then right after we get checked in, we're gonna go have dinner as a team, sit down and just, you know, hang out and enjoy the moment. And then Saturday, get the kids up early, make them all eat breakfast. Now it's something I can actually control, where I watch them eat breakfast, and then you know, grab a quick snack before we play, and you know, go out and compete.
I know you got a good network of fellow coaches across the state. It's one thing to look at a team on Huddle. It's another thing to reach out to guys that know that team that you're going to play. Have you been able to do that at all?
I have. I've talked to some friends that have seen them. They've seen them on film. They've seen them in person. I know a few people that have watched them play this year, or played against them, and you know, and they are what we thought. You know, they're big and physical up front, and they want to run the ball. They'll throw the ball if they have to. They'll throw the ball to make you honest, but they want to run the ball. Last year, and they're lost to Bothell by 1 in the opening round. They ran the ball 56 times, and so if it's working, they're willing to do it, and they're willing to just smash out a game. And I know they've been banged up, but from what I've heard is, you know, part of the reason they were given a 2 seed is because the coach said they got guys coming back, and they're getting healthier right now, and so we're expecting their best effort.
There's been grumbling in the community about your seeding. I don't know if you care about that or not, but do you have anything to say about 15 seed?
It's unfortunate. It's tough. Sometimes I don't think people understand how hard it is to get people to want to come play here, or to travel to play us. We're in the middle of nowhere. Not a lot of schools will allow their teams to even travel that far, and so for us to find schools is not easy. We've been working hard already to try to remedy that and play some more competitive teams. We've got some good non-leagues set up for next year, but you know, it's not always. I think sometimes they think everybody's got a giant budget and everybody can just travel and play whoever they want whenever they want, but that's not the case when you live in the middle of nowhere. It's difficult, and you know, our league hasn't necessarily advanced past the quarterfinals ever. You know, nobody in our league's really been known to go past that point, but you know, that's okay. You know, our goal is to take care of business and do what we can do. You know, we should have gone 10-0, but we didn't. You know, maybe if we take care of business in that game and we don't lose the sunny side, we're sitting in a different spot. Maybe we get an 8 or a 9 or a 10 seed. I don't know. But, you know, we got to take care of what we control and then go out and compete. I told our kids this week, this is a great opportunity to prove, you know, where we are. You know, we have to go out and to prove we belong, and we have to be competitive. You know, Camas' coach is on the committee, so we got to go out and impress people. We have to show what we can do. Last year, we didn't really impress anybody. We didn't play great. You know, we struggled a little bit, but we're better this year, and we feel ready to go.
The advantage I see going into this is your wing tee. That, I think, gives you, if there's no other edge, if there's no physical edge, there's nothing else, you got that, and nobody else really sees that, right?
Yeah, no, it's great. I think it's part of why we can have success with some of the things we do. You know, we have one lineman over 235 pounds in our whole program, you know, on varsity, and D-line is all under, I think, under 220. Nobody's big, and we don't have real big kids. But, you know, our kids get after it, and we've heard from numerous coaches is how do you get those guys to be so physical? You know, you don't have big kids, but our kids get after it, and part of it is we create angles, we create misdirection, and we take advantage of what we do have.
Do you talk David and Goliath at all? I mean, you know, that's kind of how this is. You know, Evansville the other night knocking off Kansas, and they're a 25-point underdog in their house. I mean, do you talk about that kind of stuff or
not? Not necessarily. I think it's a big difference there. We're not necessarily, you know, we're not some, you know, 0-8 team lining up to play Camas. That's a little different animal. Our kids are used to success, and they believe they should have success, and they work hard all year to have success. Do we necessarily have the same physical attributes? No. That kid's not out here. There's nothing you can do about that. You have what you have, and you go out and compete. And well, we just talked about what we can control is, you know, we can control not making mistakes, and we can control being physical, and we can control how hard we play. And if we do that, then we just want to sit, get after it, shorten the game, and we'll see where the ball lies at the end.
Do you change anything into this? Do you get some trick plays, or do you just dance with what brought you?
We dance with what brought you. We've always got something in the pocket. We've run a trick play here and there, but we're going to do what we do offensively, and we're going to take care of what we do defensively. And I think who we are got us to where we are, and if we try to change everything, then our kids start to go, oh, well, maybe we're just not there, or maybe we're not good enough. We're going to line up and play football, and we've told them that we may not be to the point where we can play poorly and beat a team like this. We've had points this year where I don't think we played great ball and we won games. We've had points where we didn't play great football and we won games by a lot of points. We're not to the point where we can play a team like this and be competitive if we don't play good. But if we play our best ball, we can be in a competitive football game.